Dear students, myself Dr. Mallikarjun S. Biradar, Assistant Professor in Mathematics, Government First Grade College, Baswakaland. Session number 57 of Graph Theory 2. The title of the topic is Relationship between a spanning arborescence and an Euler line. Already we have discussed what is arborescence, and already we have discussed what is the Euler line. Now we will see what is the relationship between the spanning arborescence and an Euler line. Arborescence is nothing but it is a tree. It is a kind of a tree. But spanning arborescence means spanning. Whenever we use the word spanning, it implies it must contain all vertices of the digraph. That's the difference between the spanning. The word spanning refers all vertices must be there in that digraph. Okay. So what is the Euler line? That also we have discussed. Now we will recall once again the concept of spanning arborescence and Euler line, and we will consider what is the relation. Okay, a spanning arborescence is a connected directed graph. Of course, it is a connected digraph, or you can say directed graph, and it is a spanning tree. Means it is a tree containing all vertices. So that kind of a tree is called an arborescence. Okay. So arborescence is of course it is a digraph, and it is connected digraph, and it is a tree containing all vertices. So that's why it is called a spanning tree. So what is arborescence? There is one vertex, a special vertex, one and only one vertex, whose in degree is 0, and the degree of every other vertex special. Now I am not saying only degree, I am saying in degree of every other vertex other than the root, the in degree is always 1. So that graph is called an arborescence. Okay, so therefore arborescence containing all vertices is called a spanning arborescence. So here you can see the example. Here one digraph is given. So G is the digraph, and we got a spanning tree, which is a spanning arborescence of this digraph. So what we did here, we have considered a spanning path, what you can say. So this is the spanning path, right? So here the vertices are labeled with 1, 2, 3, 4. Same vertex set it will be there in the tree, because the spanning is nothing but vertex set of the digraph D, or you can say the digraph G must be same as that of the arborescence. Okay, so vertex set is same here. 1, 2, 3, 4 are the vertices which we have labeled. Then we have considered 1 to D, right? So this we have not considered here. So then there should not be any circuit, or you can say semi-circuit or directed circuit should not be there. Then it won't be a spanning arborescence, or it won't be a spanning tree. Then we have considered the edges. See, these are the edges between 1 and 2. So it is 2 to 1. You can say 2 to 1. So a directed line from 2 to 1, it implies 1 is reachable from 2. 1 to 3, it implies 3 is reachable from 1. So like that we have considered. So now, is it a spanning arborescence? Yes, it is a spanning tree first of all, because it contains same vertex set as that of the graph G. Now, is it a arborescence? We will see there must be one vertex whose in degree is 0. Which is that vertex? If you consider the vertex 2, labeled with 2, what is the in degree of this vertex 2? It is 0, because these are the edges out of 2. Okay, out of 2. There is no edge which is incident into 2. That's why in degree of this vertex is 0. That's why this is the root of the digraph. Okay, tree. And if you observe the in degree of every other vertex, say the in degree of 1. What is the in degree of 1? Only one edge is incident into this vertex 1. So that's why in degree is 1. How about the in degree of this vertex 3? Only one vertex is incident into. Again it is 1. If you consider the vertex 4, again there is one edge which is incident into 4. That's why the in degree of the other vertices other than the root are 1. So therefore, it is of course a tree containing all vertices and satisfying those two conditions. That's why it is a spanning arborescence of the graph Z. Okay, so we have clarified what is the spanning arborescence in this graph. Let me consider, recall what is the Euler's line, directed Euler's line, Euler's graph. To define Euler's digraph, there must be Euler's line. Like Euler's graph, nothing but Euler's cycle must be there in case of undirected graphs. Okay. Similarly, there must be directed Euler's line. What do you mean by directed Euler's line? A closed directed walk which traverses along every edge once and only once. Means every edge is traced once and only once is called a directed Euler's line. And any graph which contains directed Euler's line is called Euler's digraph. So this concept already we have considered and we have discussed in the one of the previous sessions. Okay, so just I have recalled once again, because now the result is based on the spanning arborescence and Euler's line or Euler's digraph. So we are connecting these two concepts. So there is a relation between these two concepts. That's why I have recalled these two concepts once again. Now let me consider what is the theorem. In a connected balanced digraph. What do you mean by balanced digraph? If you could recall the balanced digraph, balanced. So I think yes, I will show you what is the balanced digraph. Let me refer one digraph where the in degree, the vertices with equal in degree and equal out degree. So that is the balanced digraph. Okay, so that was the concept which already we have discussed. Okay, let me consider the statement of the theorem. In a connected balanced digraph G of n vertices and m edges. So we are considering a balanced digraph G whose vertex set contains how many vertices? N vertices, and the number of edges m. So let W equal to the edges which are labeled with E1, E2, E3 and so on and so forth, EM. It implies W is the edge set of G. Okay, be an Euler line. Okay. So collecting these edges, there is an Euler line. So Euler line is nothing but it must be a directed line containing all edges. So E1, E2, E3 and so on and so forth, EM, an Euler line which starts and ends at a vertex V. It implies it should be closed Euler's line. Among the M edges in W, there are n-1 edges that enter each of n-1 vertices. Definitely, because the in degree and out degrees are equal. It is a balanced digraph. So for that reason, the n-1 edges that enter each of n-1 vertices other than V for the first time. The subgraph G of these n-1 directed edges together with the n vertices is a spanning arborescence of G rooted at that vertex. Okay, so now to understand this statement of the theorem, we try to illustrate with one example so that very easily you will come to know the statement of the theorem. So in figure A, I think there is one figure, yes, yes, here. So this is the figure. Okay, so in figure A, so we have got Euler line W, that is B, D, C, E, F, G, H, A. So that you can see. So in this diagram A, what we can say? B, D, E, F, next G, H, then A, H to A, yes, A. Okay, so E is an Euler line definitely, because we have started at the vertex 2. We have started at the vertex 2. Once again, let me show you. We have started at the vertex 2, and there is an Euler line containing all edges. See, B, next D, then this is the edge C, then you can see the edge E, then F, then H, after F what we can say, G, then you can see H and A. So this is how we got an Euler's line. Okay, starting and ending at vertex 2. So this vertex starting and ending with the vertex 2. This subgraph, we are considering a subgraph BDF. Let us see this one, BDF. So this is the subgraph of the digraph G. So the digraph G contains Euler's line, and T is the subgraph. So you can see B, D and F. Of course, vertices are same as that of the digraph G, but we have considered only few edges. Okay, now you can see this is a subgraph of the Euler line. So 2 is the root of the T, because the in degree of 2 is 0. And if you consider the in degree of other vertices other than 2, that is 1. So what you can see, this is a subgraph of the Euler line, and it is a spanning arborescence because it contains all vertices, and it is a tree with a root 2 and other vertices with in degree 1 and the root with the in degree 0. So therefore this is the spanning arborescence. So it's very clear. So in a connected balanced digraph G with n vertices and m edges, there is an Euler line containing the edges E1, E2, E3, E4, Em in general, be an Euler line which starts and ends at the vertex V. Say 2 is the vertex which starts and ends at the vertex V. Instead of V, in particular it is 2. Okay, among the m edges in W, there are n-1 edges that enter each of n-1 vertices other than V. Of course, other than V, n-1 times. Okay, then what we can see for the first time, okay, the subgraph of G, that is the T, you can say G, here it is T, but there we have considered in the theorem it is small g, of these n-1 directed edges together with the n vertices is definitely a spanning arborescence of G, and there is a root, of course. Okay, so that theorem we have illustrated or verified with this particular example. So let us think of the statement once again and see what we can do or how to prove the result. Okay, this is the statement and this is the illustration of the statement, or we have given one example and we have followed all the steps and we have verified the theorem. So it is very clear what the statement of the theorem suggests. Okay, now let me prove the theorem. Proof is very simple. In a subgraph G, you have to remember the graph which I have shown, G as well as the subgraph T. So with that base you can prove the theorem very easily. In subgraph G, so there it is a T. Vertex V is of in degree 0. Okay, there is a vertex 2 in the T whose in degree is 0. And every other vertex is of in degree 1. For G includes exactly one edge going to each of the n-1 vertices and no edge going to V. Okay, moreover, the way G is defined in W, G is connected and contains n-1 directed edges. So therefore, G is a spanning arborescence in G and is considered as a spanning arborescence because there is a vertex V which is a root of the arborescence. Okay, so this is a simple proof based on the observation of the graphs which we have illustrated. So therefore, in this session, what we have discussed, we have recalled the spanning arborescence, and also we have recalled what is the Euler line, and we have given a relation between the spanning arborescence and the Euler's line. It implies the Euler line definitely contains a spanning arborescence. So with this, we conclude today's session. Thank you.